Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. In today's video, I'm keeping myself accountable. A week or so ago, I made a Tesla battery investor day predictions video. Since the event's now taken place, I'm going to go back and review my predictions and see how I went. I made a number of predictions about all manner of things, including new cell chemistries and even how the stock market would react. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty good. Anyway, let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get a free stock, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account and fund it with $100, you'll get a free stock valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. Battery Investor Day is really where Tesla reveals their third master plan, how they intend to scale battery production to multiple terawatt hours this decade. Nailed it. Tesla revealed at Battery Investor Day that they're aiming to reach at least 3 terawatt hours of battery cell production by 2030. Tick. So this is our first look at Tesla's big fucking cell. Let me quote Elon in fact. The best part is no part. The best process, no process. These are tabless batteries. Again, if you're not a battery expert, let me explain in simple terms. This effectively paves the way for Tesla to put these batteries directly into packs without needing battery modules. The long and short of it is this. These cells are going to be moving down the Roadrunner production line. I mean, the name kind of gives it away, right? Roadrunner. At extremely fast speeds. There's going to be far less of them required. It's going to save Tesla time, money, materials, energy, everything you can possibly imagine. This is a huge leap forward in battery cell production, and this is what we're going to hear a lot more about at Battery Investor Day. Another enormous benefit of Tesla's BFC is the weight savings, which will mean range extension or less cost in producing battery packs, because the same amount of kilowatt hours in terms of energy in the pack will actually move the car further because there's less weight in the pack, because there's no battery modules, etc. This is like compounding improvements on compounding improvements. It is a game changer. So this effectively was like a half prediction, because the leak from Electric seemed legitimate enough. No one was really surprised to see this new cell at Battery Investor Day, but some of the things that may or may not have been apparent to everyone immediately, the cost savings, the weight savings, the complexity savings, etc., all discussed. So let's give this a half tick. I mean, we kind of knew anyway, but hey, wasn't wrong. So let's get into some of my other predictions. The first, which I'm pretty confident in, is that Tesla is going to announce battery cell chemistry bifurcation, maybe even trifurcation or more, meaning that there's going to be a distinct battery chemistry for vehicles that are intended for use in robotaxis that don't need extremely high performance. Those same cells are likely to go into stationary storage, and because they can go through an extremely large number of cycles, this is the million-mile battery. This prediction is an absolute home run. I called it. There's either going to be battery cell bifurcation or trifurcation. We got trifurcation. And yes, we got the million-mile battery. Tesla just didn't have a gigantic flashing neon sign with a huge label saying this battery is the million-mile battery. Because one, Osborne effect, and two, it's not their job to explain these kind of things, okay? This was a little bit of a presentation for the total nerds and engineers and people who understand manufacturing and get all this stuff. Everyone else is going to take a few months to figure out. So, battery cell bifurcation or trifurcation, massive home run. It can be sent back to Tesla in the future for recycling, which will actually pay out quite a bit in terms of the material costs to the customer. Tick. Tesla also discussed recycling their batteries and how much better that is than actually going and mining new resources, when what you want is already in these batteries, and their pilot recycling line will be up and running very soon. So the batteries are going to become an invaluable long-term, maybe lifetime asset. The second chemistry will be more geared around performance, including the Semi, the Roadster, probably the Plaid powertrain, Model S and X as well. Again, this is totally me imagining, thinking out loud, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to see battery cell chemistry bifurcation or trifurcation over time. It just makes sense. Why on earth would you have identical batteries going into products that have totally different uses and needs in terms of energy density, weight, performance, etc.? Let's be honest, this was extremely obvious. But hey, still counts. Just imagine if AutoBidder software is involved in the distribution, you may theoretically be able to use your Tesla to pull power off the grid and then sell it back for a profit, doing energy arbitrage all automatically with AutoBidder software while you sleep. Literally, your Tesla could be printing money for you while you sleep. This is something that was actually discussed in the Q&A. Elon Musk was very dismissive of the idea of vehicle to grid, saying in the past it was available on the Roadster, no one used it. I totally get that. And I just want to own up, guys, massive rookie error on my part. I've been using the blanket term vehicle to grid to describe two independent, completely separate functions. So let's define these. The first, vehicle to grid, which Elon was very dismissive of, is using your Tesla to power your home. It makes a lot of sense when he explained the reasons why. I totally get it. It was available on the original Roadsters. No one gave a shit. Great. But the thing that he was open to, which I was just discussing, is using AutoBidder to perform energy arbitrage by pulling power off the grid to your Tesla battery and then selling that power back to the grid during peak times to make money in your sleep automatically with the AutoBidder software. This is on the table, and this is a massive opportunity. Tick. But again, this is not vehicle to grid where you're using your Tesla to power your home. Not a big deal anyway. Like, who cares about that shit? The energy arbitrage opportunity, oh man, massive. In the future, Tesla will be supplying battery cells to other automakers. My main question is this. At Battery Invest today, will they say we're open to doing this? Or will they take it a step further and say we're going to be doing this with, and here's a partner, here's another partner, etc. I'm still unsure whether or not Tesla's got far enough along, they've sorted out production, etc., where they're actually able to do this, they've got enough supply of materials, but I know it's coming. Tick. Elon also discussed supplying Tesla battery cells in the future to other automakers. He did caveat this, of course, and as I've said in the past, there's no point supplying others if you can't meet your own demands, but he said if they can build enough cells to outrun their own needs, then they're totally open to supplying other companies as well. Tesla's Roadrunner battery cell production line and BFC are absolute game changers. However, if history is anything to go by, there's a pretty high chance the stock market is going to look and go, what? After all, the Cybertruck reveal resulted in Tesla stock going same thing happened after Autonomy Day, two of the most important events in Tesla's history. In fact, the Cybertruck unveil got me so fired up because people were like, oh, I don't like the design. And I'm like, do you not fucking understand why it looks that way? Like, seriously, dude? Like, oh, fuck this. I need to start a YouTube channel. Literally, this is what happened. Well, what do you know? Tesla stock tumbled by double-digit percentage points after Battery Invest today because Wall Street have no fucking idea what they saw. Fancy that. Tick. So far, it seems to be the case that Tesla announces amazing news and the stock market literally doesn't get it. A few smart investors go, great, I'm going to load up during this opportunity. And then eventually, after much delay, the wider stock market starts to understand some of the potential that was bleedingly obvious. In fact, stated in no uncertain terms by Tesla themselves at a prior event months ago, perhaps years ago. It still baffles the mind how Tesla does a reveal like this and people just don't get the implications. So far, so good. My predictions were pretty on point. There was one prediction I made that we didn't really hear a whole lot about, and that was that the vast majority of Tesla's future cell production will take place at Austin in Texas. Now, this wasn't refuted, it wasn't discussed at all, so I still believe this is likely, but I can't give myself a tick for something that wasn't even raised. And that's it for my Battery Invest Today predictions. And I gotta say, not fucking bad. Of course, I was flat out wrong on vehicle to grid. Elon Musk was very dismissive of that functionality, but as I mentioned earlier, there's actually two separate functions, and I'm primarily focused on using your Tesla as a tool for energy arbitrage with AutoBidder, which is still on the table, so that's a half tick. So the final tally, I got one wrong, one wasn't really discussed, so we don't know, but hey, I'm still calling it now. Cell production, the vast majority of it will be happening in Austin, and of course, everything else, I was right. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. I know this isn't going to appeal to a huge number of people. Who cares what I predicted, whether I was right or not? I totally get that. I'm not making this video for you. I'm making it for me to hold myself accountable. There's no point making predictions about the future and then forgetting what those predictions were when the time comes to see whether or not they were accurate. And now a few closing thoughts. As a Tesla shareholder, in fact, the only stock I've purchased for the last 3 years has been Tesla stock. That should tell you something. Either I'm a moron, possible, or I've done so much research, gone so far down the rabbit hole and developed such a deep, detailed and comprehensive understanding of what this company is doing, how they're operating, that I'm able to reasonably accurately predict things in the future about this company. That gives me an enormous competitive advantage when it comes to investing in Tesla stock. Hence, I've done okay investing in Tesla stock so far. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake using the links below. Deposit $100 in your WeBull account, you'll get a free stock valued up to $1,600, and Stake, spin the roulette wheel, you'll either get Nike, GoPro or Dropbox. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.